sell for $500 million like this year to another company. Once you build a system that does that once, you say, well, I've got more time now. What do I do?
I've been like reading about your entrepreneurship through acquisitions thing. I think that has like really been a game changer for me, the way I think. Because honestly, I used to believe that all your focus should be in one business and nothing else until your business is like sold. That's the only way that you can make a business work. And I think it's because a lot of the gurus that I thought were like telling me and teaching me, all the content I was consuming was like pointing towards a direction. But like, yet here you are with the two companies thriving, making good money out of it.
Right.
Now, the thing is, more than making good money out of it, you're helping a lot of people, keeping good quality product. Like, how do you do that? Why entrepreneurship through acquisition? Why
Yeah. So you're totally, here's what I'll say. You're not wrong when people tell you you should focus and have one business and take it all the way through to an exit. You're not wrong. That's a pathway. That is one way to do this. But you can also find 1,000 counterexamples of entrepreneurs who have had multiple businesses running at once or started at once. It happens all the time. I'm not saying it's always the right choice. Part of it for me is looking at start with the end in mind. So in other words, I own service businesses. These are not high growth tech businesses that will sell for $100 million. Just objectively not possible. That just they don't create enough value to be worth the amount that a company like some of our clients have gone off and IPO'd or sold. We had a former client sell for $500 million like this year to another company. My companies will not be that, unfortunately. I'm not on that path. But what my companies are good at is cash flow for time. So in other words, I should seek to maximize my cash flow and minimize my time spent in them as much as is reasonable in order to reap the rewards today, because they don't have big exits. Service businesses, like the ones we buy, exit at 2 to 3 times their annual earnings, essentially. So if the company netted $100,000 a year, we would pay $200,000, maybe $300,000 for that company if it's really, really strong. That's it. That's the way they work. That math does not change. No matter how cool the tech is, no matter how fast you grew, it pretty much just stays in that range. So when you know that, it becomes this game of how do I maximize cash flow for minimize my time? And how do I build a system that does that? Once you build a system that does that once, you say, well, I've got more time now. What do I do? Go build another system that does that. Because there's just like, that's how you continue to build like cash flow, wealth for yourself, a really good business in this industry. It's not true for venture funded startups because they're looking at a big exit. That's totally different optimization set, different way to run the business. So this is where I say, start with the end in mind, know what the end state of your business is and know how you can optimize for it along the way. Don't pretend like Draft.dev is going to be some high growth tech company that exits for $1 billion. So I'm going to make no money and work for 80-hour weeks forever to get there. Like it's not going to happen. It's impossible. It's just not realistic. So I think you just again, start with the end in mind, and it makes it really easy to make these decisions. And so for me, acquisitions are a way to leverage the fact that I'm really good at operationalizing things. I have a lot of learnings from running Draft.dev for the last few years that allow me to minimize my time input and maximize my cash output. And I'm just going to take those systems and repeat them as many times as I can.